Okay, welcome back. I'm now going to continue my 32 and 32. This time we will be looking at the Edmonton Oilers. For a team that was dead last in the league in November, they not only made the playoffs, they finished second in the division for the second year in a row, the third year in a row, I should say. But they beat LA in the first round, they beat Vancouver in the second round, they beat Dallas in the third round, got all the way to the Stanley Cup Finals, trailed 3-0 in that series, managed to push to a Game 7, but unfortunately they fell to the Florida Panthers in the Stanley Cup Final. So they had a hell of a run, and I'm going to be honest with you, they made a lot of good signings and re-signings these past couple of days. It's been unreal. And the crazy thing is there was definitely a time where you could probably say before the McDavid era where nobody wanted to sign in Edmonton. And it's not just Edmonton, it's a lot of Canadian cities. It's hard to attract stars, especially when you're guaranteed to make more money down south. But I've got to give the GM props. Well, I mean, Ken Holland is gone now, but I'm pretty sure it's Jeff Jackson that's running the show. I don't think he is a GM, but man, he's made a lot of very good moves, to say the least. So, as I always do, I'm going to be reviewing the contracts for the teams and see who has re-signed and who has gone elsewhere. So starting with Troy Stecher, I'm pretty sure they re-signed him, but I'm just going to pull up their page and I'll double check to see how long the term is. I want to say it's 2 years, but I could be mistaken on that. As I'm loading this up, I should say, so they finished with a record of 49, 27, and 6, 104 points, and second in that Pacific Division. So Troy Stecher. Yeah, so he signed a 1-year deal, and or was it a 2-year deal? I don't know. He's guaranteed to be there at least one more season. Corey Perry is coming back on a 1-year deal, so at least you're guaranteed to get to the Stanley Cup Final. As long as you have Corey Perry on your team, you're guaranteed to get to the Stanley Cup Final. Whether or not you get the result you want is up for debate. Sam Carrick has signed with the New York Rangers. He came over from a trade this past season with the Anaheim Ducks. Connor Brown, a fan favorite, he struggled to say the least for at least 3/4 of the season. I'll never forget when he got his first goal against the Washington Capitals. He got like a 2-minute standing ovation, or like a 3-minute standing ovation. The crowd was just so happy, and good for him for scoring on home ice, just to have all the fans cheer you on. And I'm sure that was like a big sigh of relief, like, oh my God, I finally got my first goal. It took so long, and he was so great towards the end of the season and during their postseason run. Between him and Janmark, they were fantastic on the penalty kill. And I got to say this as a quick little side note, I think that penalty kill was the best by any team in NHL history. I could be wrong, but they only gave up a handful of power play goals throughout that that 2-month run. Alrighty, Dylan Holloway's contract is expiring, so I'm sure they'll try to get him re-signed. Sam Gagner, unfortunately, was not re-signed, so who knows what his future has. It's honestly a shame he wasn't even able to play one Stanley Cup Final game. If I were the coach, I would have put him in for Game 4, because at that point you were down 3-0, you had nothing to lose anyway. But unfortunately, they did not see a fit for him, and I mean, it worked out for Games 4, 5, and 6. They didn't need him, but I still think it would have been neat to have him play at least one postseason game. Philip Broberg's contract did expire. Unfortunately, he has not re-signed yet, but he still is a restricted free agent, so I'm sure that they'll definitely do the best they can to bring him back. Adam Henrique came over with Sam Carrick. Henrique did re-sign between the two of them on a 2-year deal, and he did say on a little video chat that he wants to win. And I don't blame him. I mean, it took him 12 years. It was 12 years in between his Stanley Cup Final appearance with New Jersey to Edmonton this past postseason run. So, and he knows 33, 34 years old. His time is definitely running out, and he decided to take less money to compete for a Stanley Cup, and it very well could happen. Vincent Desharnais has left. He signed with the Vancouver Canucks. Matthias Janmark has come back, I think, on a 2-year contract, if I'm not mistaken. And Warren Foegele, unfortunately, he has shipped sail. It's kind of ironic that he signed with LA, Arvidsson signed with Foegele. So if you're Foegele and Arvidsson, you should be talking to each other and saying, if you're Foegele, say, hey, Arvidsson, this is where I used to live in Edmonton, you can take my house, and vice versa. I mean, they're trading teams. Why not trade houses? And Draisaitl, that'll be a big debate throughout this upcoming season. His contract doesn't expire until the end of next year, but I'm sure if you're an Oilers fan and you're part of the management group, you want to get this guy signed long term, no doubt. And on the goaltending situation, I believe Calvin Pickard has re-signed on a one-year contract, and Skinner is entering the last year of his deal. So if they can manage to get a cup next year, I'm sure they'll worry about contract negotiations. Sorry, he has 2 years left to go in his contract. But either way, I'm sure if they just get a ring and get the cup, then they'll be happier than a pig in poop. Anyways, that takes care of this recap from the Edmonton Oilers. As always, if you're new to this channel and you like this type of content, feel free to hit the sub button. I'd be very grateful and very appreciative. Until next time, and as always, take care.